Hello, my loves. Welcome to a new Pick a Card reading. Today, we are going to be finding out if you are on their mind. And if so, what are they thinking and feeling about you? What would they say to you from their higher self? And if there is any action they wish to take towards you. And stay with me till the end, because you will also get to ask Spirit any question that you have around the timing of something in this connection, any question around timing. And we are going to use the timing oracle to get you some options. And as I always say, be very gentle with yourself on all of these things. Just take what resonates for you and leave the rest. I also want to tell you that I'm going to be very honest in this reading in terms of, if they're thinking about you or not. And so if you are triggered by that, please understand that from the beginning, because I know that some of you, and of course we've all been there, it's so hard when we are truly in love with somebody and it hasn't worked out. I know some of you, based on some of the comments that I've been reading, may still be holding on to someone who may not have been good for you, someone who may have already moved on with someone else, right? And is not giving you the love and respect that you deserve. So also know that you can use these readings to help you to detach and move on if that is what your life's journey is calling you to do. These readings are not meant to keep you attached to someone who may not be the right person for you. These readings are to bring you clarity and comfort and knowing that you are supported by Spirit and that everything that is happening is for your highest and greatest good. So I am going to be very honest about what the messages are that Spirit really wants to bring to you, because this is my absolute passion and purpose in this life. I love helping you on this journey of healing and on this journey of union or reunion with that special person in your life. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, I am Dr. V. Thank you so much for being here. If you like my readings, the best way that you can support me in this channel, which is absolutely free as well, is to hit that subscribe and give this video a like. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get into your reading today. So I have multiple ways for you to choose your reading. You can choose by the card, you can choose by the crystal, and we will also be assigning zodiac signs for each of the groups. So if you don't want to look at zodiac signs, everything is going to be time-stamped in the box below. So you can go ahead and just click on whatever timestamp is right for you. Also, you can, if you are using zodiac signs, you can watch for your zodiac sign and your person's zodiac sign both and take the combined readings. So there's no right or wrong way. Just follow your intuition. Okay, so for group number one, we have the clear quartz and we have this card, bearing fruit. And for group number two, we have the royal U and we have the rose quartz. And for group number three, we have a powerful move and we have the amethyst. Okay, also I wanted to say before I forget is if you are at that place where general readings are just not enough, you really need to know what is going on between you and your special person, because you need clarity, you want to be able to make great decisions, and you really want to explore what is going on in your unique journey, then I highly recommend that you have the live reading experience with me. I'm one of the few people who offers this because I love to see you live on video call. It's very healing, very transformative, and it's very powerful when you can get all of your questions answered as they come up right there in real time. Now, if that's not right for you, I also do video recorded readings. So if you go to livetarot.com/readings, you'll see my entire menu right there. So let's go ahead and pick zodiac signs for group number 1. We have Aries, Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo. For group number 2, we have Libra, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. For group number 3, we have Taurus, Scorpio, Virgo, and Cancer. All right, so go ahead and make your selection, and we will get started right here with group number 1. One that chose bearing fruit, the clear quartz. Aries, Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo, although you don't have to feel restricted to just those signs. We're going to see, are you on their mind? And if so, what are they thinking and feeling about you? What would they say to you from their higher self? And is there any action they wish to take towards you? Also, make sure you think about any kind of question you have about the timing in this connection. And at the end, we're going to get you some timing guidance. And as I said in the introduction, that, you know, we are going to be very honest, okay? Very honest about, you know, are you on their mind? And so be ready. Be ready for what comes through. So we're going to start here with your oracle cards, and then we will also do your tarot. Moving forward, get ready for positive change. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Coming apart. Respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. Okay. So I feel like this person, there's definitely been some sort of challenge, maybe even a separation that has happened between you and this person. There's this coming apart energy here. Look at this. There's like, right, two people looking in opposite directions. We have two faces looking in opposite directions, and we also have two figures here with their backs turned to each other. Okay, so I feel like this person right now, if you've had a separation or if there's been some sort of a major falling out that you've had with this person, they are thinking of you, but right now it's like they're going through a process of negative thinking. Like they're feeling very down about everything that's happened. They're not quite yet coming into a more positive place. If they're staying away at this time, or if you're staying away at this time, or if there's been some sort of a silence right now, I feel like Spirit is telling you that that's actually a good thing, that you need some space, and this person is taking that space right now, and they're also giving you space out of respect for you. Okay, so it's almost like they want to give you respect. They want to respect the relationship and what has happened, and they're trying to be very mature about it right now, okay? Because I do feel that this person may have acted in a very immature way. They may be somebody who definitely struggles to deal with conflict in the relationship in a mature way, okay? So I feel like there's this sense of this person has a hard time taking criticism in a relationship, okay? Or even feedback, okay? So this person tends to come across as very sensitive to you, but this sensitivity is also very egoic in them. Like their ego is very sensitive, okay? Their ego is very easily wounded. So I feel like this person, they almost have this unrealistic expectation of what a relationship should be. It's like they feel like if something goes wrong, or there's some big discussion, or there's some big confrontation, it makes them feel like that means the relationship isn't working. They tend to take conflict or disagreements very, very seriously. So I feel like Spirit is saying to you, Group 1, be able to understand that this person almost feels like the kind of relationship that they want, or the relationship that would work for them, is almost the kind of relationship that has no conflict. But that's also very unrealistic, right? Like that's also very immature, because any kind of real and serious committed relationship is going to have conflict. And that's part of the relationship, is how do you each come forward and deal with the conflict? How do you deal with negative feedback? Like, if you say, well, I don't like the way you're doing this, or I don't like what you said, or I don't like the way you behaved, this person has a very hard time taking that feedback. So what happens is that they get into these spirals of negative thinking. They start to think like, oh, if everything isn't great, if everything isn't peaches and cream in this relationship, that means something must be wrong. That means maybe we're not meant to be together. So I feel like you have to be very aware of this person feeling like, almost also like, if you disagree with them, or if you contradict them, or if you tell them that, hey, I don't see things your way, that they almost see that as disrespect. They almost feel like, oh, well, you should think, like what I'm saying is right. Like, why don't you get that? Like, why aren't you on the same page? So again, I just feel like this person really wants a conflict-free experience, okay? And that might come from, maybe they've had relationships in the past, or maybe they grew up with parents or caregivers who were constantly fighting, right? And so if this person has dealt with a lot of drama and conflict, and they've experienced it themselves, or they saw their parents doing that growing up, they have come to this conclusion in their mind that a good relationship is one where there is no fighting. But do you see how like there's like a very kind of like an extreme energy there? It's like, either if you fight a little bit, that's a problem. If you don't fight at all, that's a good thing. So there's like an extreme view. So this person, I think their main challenge right now is that they need to get into the next level of understanding of what a real relationship should be. And I feel like there's a part of them, because they're still stuck in this energy of, no, we fight too much, or we disagree too much for this to be the right relationship for me. I want something that is just easy, that we never fight. Everything is just, peaches and cream, rainbows, and, laughter, and, smile and love. And that's a good thing to want. But it's not going to be like that all the time, unless you have a relationship that is just more casual, more superficial. Like, we're not going to get in deep with each other. Maybe this is not long term. So I feel like this person is right now very much thinking about whether they should just move forward. Okay. But again, this is not your fault. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with their expectations of what a relationship should be. And that's where it's like you, group one, may have to understand this. Like you may have to kind of accept the fact that until this person matures or educates themselves on what a real relationship is, and that a real relationship is definitely going to have conflict, and that if you want a real committed relationship that's long term, you have to negotiate that conflict. You have to teach yourself and work with your partner on how to deal with conflict, not avoid conflict altogether, right? Like, so this is, I feel, is this person's kind of main I don't want to say problem, but main challenge being with a person like this is going to be that they are conflict averse. Okay. that is the phrase that Spirit is giving me. This person is against conflict. They want everything to be nice all the time. So that can also put a lot of pressure on you, right? To be perfect all the time. There's like almost like the sense of like, oh, everything should be, I don't want to use the word perfect, but everything should be just nice. Like we should always get along. We should always be on the same page. You should always agree with me. And again, it's very immature and unrealistic, right? And it can feel like it's a lot of pressure for you. It can feel like it's a lot of pressure for you to be perfect all the time, for you to never rock the boat, for you to never have a different opinion, and even if you do have a different opinion, for you to kind of see their point of view and be okay with it. Okay, so that's where I feel like this person gets into spirals of negative thinking when you guys disagree, and they're always considering, oh, every time there's an argument, every time there's a disagreement, should I just move on? Is it time to just let go because this is not that peachy relationship that I want? Okay, so that's something you're going to have to be very aware of with this person. See, Ace of Wands. Okay, so what else are they thinking and feeling about group one? Queen of Wands. Page of, oh my gosh, we have all Wands energy here. Wow. Six of Cups. Okay. So this person, it's interesting. It's almost like what they want and what they are thinking as they are thinking about you is that they love your passion. They love your drive. Okay. The reason why they feel so attracted to you, even though it's almost like a what's that word? Contradiction. Okay, it's a contradiction because it's almost like all of the things that they feel so attracted to you about are also the things that they feel negative about. So for them, it's a very big dilemma in their mind and their heart. Because see, the reason why they fell for you in the first place is because they were very attracted to this fiery energy in you. Okay, this is the kind of person who really loves you for being the person that you are. Like you are bold, you are passionate. You might be the kind of person who really cares about going after what they want in life. And you might even come across to your person as somebody who is bold and fearless. And even though you have fears, you do well with dealing with them. You want to, and you're open to putting yourself out there to achieve your goals. And that's what this person really was attracted to in the first place. Like you have your own opinions, you have your own life, you have your own way of doing things. But the problem is they see you in the Queen of Wands energy, but they're coming at it in a Page of Wands energy. See the difference here? So while they love the passion, the drive, the mastery that you have, they are not meeting you where you are, group one. Remember I said they come across as very immature in their emotional development, as well as in how that emotional development affects their behavior. Okay, so they're behaving at the level of the Page of Wands, but they see you at the level of the Queen of Wands. So this is where the friction comes in, right? It's like their expectations are immature. Their way of handling things is not as mature as you, but yet they look up to you and admire you for everything you are. But for all the qualities that you have, those are the qualities that they're then like, oh, maybe I should let this go. Because you are very strong. You are opinionated and you share those opinions. And you have your own way of doing things, which again attracted this person to you. But then when you assert that, when you say, hey, I don't like that, hey, that's not right for me, then they're like, well, why, right? Why can't you just be more like me? So this is the big contradiction. And I feel like they are realizing also, like as they're thinking of you, there's a lot of, like I said, negative spiral thinking, but underneath all that negativity and that sense of like, oh, maybe I should just let this go. They also deep down inside, Ace of Wands, know that they are going to have to step up and do things differently if they want to be with you. So now it's like they're thinking, well, Six of Cups, soulmate energy. Like I still feel like we're soulmates. They're, if you have been taking a break from this person, they're definitely thinking a lot about the memories that you've created, the times that you've shared, the love, the passion, the connection. And even though they're like kind of threatening with this, oh, I think it's better just let this go. This is not going to work. This is not perfect like I want it to be. This is not all peaches like I want it to be. This is not all rainbows. Like they're saying this to themselves outside. And it's a way of like, again, that ego, that sensitive ego wanting to deflect and resist. But inside, deep down inside, it's like they see you as their soulmate. They're still very attached to you. And they know that they're going to have to shift something, okay, if they want this to work. They know that they're going to have to start doing things differently. But the thing is, are they willing to? Not the right time. I'm overwhelmed with responsibilities. I don't have the time or energy for a relationship. Okay, so take that as it resonates. For some of you, that might also be the case here, where this person may, and for this, I'm feeling more like they are overwhelmed by the fact that they're not able to meet you where you're at right now. Right? Like they're not able to be in this level of mastery. They're still struggling here with that Page of Wands. And that may be another reason why it feels like, oh, I'm just overwhelmed. Like I can't deal with all this conflict, or I just want something easy, right? So this to me is that energy. I have awakened to our connection. I know we have a timeless bond between us. So that's very much like that Six of Cups, right? So there's definitely this sense of like push and pull from this person, right? They want to come closer to you, but then they can't handle their sensitive ego, almost like can't handle, having a real relationship where you have to show up as an adult. So is there any action this person wants to take? And stay with me. Right after that, you'll be able to ask your timing question. Yeah, see? So this person hasn't fully let go. They might be, kind of saying to themselves, oh, no, I should just let this go. This is not going to work out. But deep down inside, they want a union with you. They want a reconciliation, okay? But again, they also know that you're not gonna be happy in a situation where they are, always wanting everything to be all nice, right? They don't want to deal with the conflict. And you may even notice that this person may even hesitate. Like when conflict comes up, you might really feel how much they hesitate to even get involved in that. They might stay silent. They might withdraw. They may not even tell you, what they're actually thinking there, because they're trying to keep the peace, or they're trying to just kind of, but inside they're very hesitant to deal with, being in a real relationship. It's very difficult for them to process those emotions. It's very difficult for them to deal with conflicting emotions. Okay, so when this person feels like there's conflict going on, they start to just shut down because they don't know what else to do. Okay, so I feel like this person really, really does struggle with that energy of lack of processing. Okay, lack of the relationship and communication skills to come at this with that maturity. But see, they feel like you are a blessing in their life. And that's why I feel like they are not ready to let this go. Okay, they are just not ready to fully let this go. There's too much of this Six of Cups and blessings energy and this union energy. There's too much of this very like, you're still my person. Even though I'm not up to it, you're still my person kind of energy coming through. Yeah, so I feel like this person really does still want to create something special here. They want to create a relationship. They want to create a connection here that works. But I just think they realize that maybe they are struggling with that sensitivity, that immaturity when it comes to their ego. So I feel like they're going to try, but you will have to see whether you like their efforts. Okay, so go ahead and think about any question you have on timing, and I'm going to give you 3 options. It happens when you let go of limiting beliefs. 6 days. And during the waxing crescent moon phase, which you can look up online. It's very easy to find out when that is. Okay, so if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you could do the live or the video recorded. You can also order any of the oracle decks that I have created and used in this reading. They're great problem solvers for when you have urgent questions at home that need answers. So everything is at livetarot.com. Also make sure to hit that subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you all on the next one. Okay, my group 2 that chose the Royal U as well as the Rose Quartz, as well as Libra, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Aquarius, although you don't have to feel limited to those zodiac signs. So we are going to take a look at what are they thinking? Are they thinking about you? And if so, what are they thinking and feeling? What would they say to you from their higher self? We're also going to take a look at if there's any action they wish to take towards you at this time. And also have your question ready about any kind of timing in this connection. And we're going to give you some timing guidance at the end of the reading. So we have enlightenment, pursue spiritual growth. Surrender, defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Rescue. Joy. You delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. Okay. So I do feel like, yes, this person is thinking of you. However, there's some sort of a resistance here that they have when it comes to who they are, like who they are and how are they actually coming into this relationship. I feel like this person, they tend to feel that they have the answers. It's interesting. Like they almost see themselves as somebody who is enlightened in a certain way. Okay. And maybe they don't use that word. They don't use the word maybe enlightenment, although some of them may, but I just feel like there's something in this person that feels very confident in some idea that they know what to do. You know, they have the answers. They are right. There's a sense of, you know, like, I know what I'm doing. Okay. And I feel like it's very interesting because it's not coming from a genuine place. Okay. It's not coming from a place of authenticity. Again, it's similar to group 1, but a little bit more different in the sense of, like, it's not an issue of maturity. Like, I feel like for group number 1, there was this issue of maturity. Here, I feel like this person, they have this sense of defensiveness around their own sense of who they think they are. They feel that they know the answers. They're not as open to suggestion. They're not as open to growth, because it's almost like they have decided that, oh, I've already done my growing. Like, you know, like, I've already done like, I know what I'm doing. I'm good, you know. But what happens is, to this person, is that as long as they are single, when they're on their own, they're good, right? Because they don't really have any feedback from anybody else, or they don't see what kinds of issues or what kinds of stuff comes up for them when you are actually in a relationship with somebody else. You know, it's interesting. They say that you may think you're just so smart and so good and so enlightened as long as you're just on your own. It's just in your own head. And you might think, oh, you know, I've been doing reading, I've been doing studying, like, I've been growing. But the true test often is when you come into partnership with somebody else, and then they reflect back to you some of those things that you don't see when you're on your own, right? It's like they will trigger. Any partner you have is going to trigger your inner childhood wounds. So when this person is single and on their own, they feel like they're just great, okay? Like, look at me. Look at me. I am doing amazing. I am really happy. I am really at peace. Like, I'm doing great, okay? I don't need anything or anyone. But part of that is also their defense mechanism, right? And I feel like this person, yes, they are thinking of you, but I also feel like it's almost like they are much more comfortable being single, because being single helps them to be right. And I get this energy that when they are in partnership, it just brings up a lot of triggers for them. Okay, it just brings up a lot of stuff for them. And what they're really thinking and considering right now is, what is more important to them? Is it more important to be single and non-defensive and really happy and just kind of at peace and not and enjoying the fact that nobody is challenging you, nobody is criticizing you, nobody is telling you what to do, you don't have to be responsible for anybody else's needs, or you don't have to show up for them, right, in particular ways. And I feel like this person right now, and like I said, if you, in case you missed the introduction of the entire reading, I said that I was going to be very brutally honest about what Spirit is saying here, and what this person is actually thinking about you. And I feel like this person feels very, very weak when they are in a relationship, because the relationship, whether it's with you or anybody else, seems to bring out what they see as weakness in them. They become weak. And this person, I think, struggles with vulnerability. Like, they don't want to feel weak and vulnerable, but they haven't quite gotten to that point where they realize that being in a true relationship, a true partnership, is going to ask you to be vulnerable. You're going to have to open up and show your vulnerabilities. Your weaknesses are going to come out. Your childhood wounds are going to come out. You're going to be triggered in many ways, but that's what growth is all about. And this person feels like they're just fine growing on their own, right? As long as they're not challenged by somebody, as long as somebody is not calling them out, they feel fine. But as soon as they're in a relationship and starting to be triggered, they almost feel like they have to be rescued. Like there's something in them that is so painful that they're hiding, that they're suppressing or repressing, that they almost feel like they have to be rescued, and they don't like that feeling. So this person, I feel like Spirit is asking you to consider the fact that this person may want to be in a relationship with you. They may care for you. They may be in love with you. They may be all those things. But at the same time, they are asking themselves whether that is worth it to them. Because I feel like this is the kind of person who would be perfectly okay on their own. Okay, this is not the type of person that absolutely needs a relationship. Okay, they may want one, they may be in love with you, they may want to be with you, they may enjoy your company, they may love connecting with you. But I get the energy from this person's thoughts is that they are detached enough that they would be fine on their own as well. Okay, so they're literally asking themselves the question, especially if you guys are in a state where there has been issues, there's been conflict, there's been confrontation, there's been, disagreements. This person is asking themselves whether it's better for them to just be on their own. Because again, being on their own makes them feel enlightened, makes them feel, oh, I'm so strong. Look at me. Like I know what I'm doing right. And it's almost like this person, to some degree, to some extent, they don't know or haven't quite yet decided if love is worth it. Like, is it better to be in love, experience love, and be in a relationship and be vulnerable and be open to criticism and be open to knowing that you don't have all the answers and you're not going to do everything right? Or is it better to just be self-contained? Is it better to just kind of, live my life in peace and joy, not be defensive with anybody, feel like I'm on top of the world, and just be on my own? I feel like that is the thought process of this person. Okay, that is what this person is considering and thinking about. And group 2, I feel like it really doesn't have to do with you. This is not your fault. This is this person's internal mechanism. Okay, like, wow, look at that. This is very High Priestess energy. This is High Priestess energy coming through again. So again, like, I just feel like it's almost like they see that you are more connected spiritually than they are. Okay, like you are much more self-aware. Even though they may think they are, they're starting to see that the true High Priestess energy is coming from you. Like you are the one who is aware. You are the one who is vulnerable. You are the one who does have answers. It's almost like they're kind of like trying, okay? The Lovers, see? It's like they are trying. They're wanting, but for them, it's more of an effort and a facade. 10 of Cups. See, it's like, and look at this, we have some major arcana. We have the High Priestess and the Lovers. So I feel like this person is trying very hard. 10 of Wands. Wow. 2 10s, right? 10 of Cups. 10. This is big energy. Okay. So I feel like this person is also, to some level, resisting falling in love. Okay. There is a lot of turmoil in this person right now. That is why they may be coming across as very defensive. Okay, so you might be seeing the results of this internal conflict in this person by them being very on guard, very defensive, very argumentative. Like, this person is stressed right now. They're feeling argumentative. And the way that they're protecting themselves is through just like maybe lashing out or being more ready to fight, because it's there's some sort of deep turmoil that is going on in their soul right now. I feel like this person, this is the effect you've had on this person. you coming into this person's life has made them question everything about themselves. Okay, so this is why we're getting major, powerful energies of shifting here. High Priestess, Lovers, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Okay, you coming into this person's life has kind of destroyed the illusion that they were building about themselves. Okay, they were living under this illusion because they may have been single for a while, they may have been kind of on their own for a while. They're living under the illusion that they are just so smart, so enlightened. Oh my God, I know what I'm doing. Look at me. Like, like I'm amazing. And that's fine. It's good to have that self-confidence. But I feel like, again, they're doing it from the place of self-righteousness. Okay, self-righteousness is not enlightenment. So again, I think you coming into their life, and I feel like you, group 2, are much more connected spiritually, and you don't come across as self-righteous, but you do come across as self-aware. Okay, like whatever enlightenment or answers you feel you have, they're coming from a more authentic place. They're not coming as much from this ego, from this identity that this person has created around themselves. And so that's why I feel like falling in love with you, being closer and closer to you, feeling very passionate about you, wanting to get closer to you, and all the things that have happened have really shattered this person's sense of false self. There is a false sense of self that this person had created around themselves before they met you, and now being with you is shattering that self-image. 10 of Wands. So it's feeling very heavy for this person. Okay, very heavy. So now it's like they're asking themselves, okay, I am not as strong as I thought. Maybe I am not all the things I had built myself up to be. So do I want that? Again, to me, it goes back to that question, that same question. Am I better off living this illusion on my own and going back to the way I was? I was perfectly happy being single. I thought I had all the answers. Or do I want to become vulnerable? Do I want to be honest with myself and with you? Do I want to acknowledge that, no, I have met the love of my life, which is you, group 2. I've met the love of my life. Do I want this 10 of Cups? Because to get to the 10 of Cups, you have to be willing to let someone in. You have to be willing to look at the parts of yourself that need to be healed. And you cannot hold on to a sense of self-righteousness like, oh, look at me, I have all the answers. I already know. You don't have to tell me anything. I already know what I'm doing. No, you don't. No, they don't. But are they willing to admit that in order to reach that 10 of Cups? Are they willing to admit that they have a ways to go, and this partnership, this connection is bringing out those things, that they can no longer have this fake perfect identity of all is well and I have all the answers and I know what I'm doing? Can they be vulnerable enough to have this? Or is it just too much pressure for them and they would rather have that more kind of, facade that they've been living for a very long time? It's on. I see you looking good and moving on. I don't care who you're talking to. I'm better. I will compete for you. Yeah, so I feel like for some of you, if you've moved on from this person or are going to move on from this person at some point, that might be even more of a challenge to this person, and they may come back wanting to win you over, right? Because again, they have that sense of like, look at me. I know what I'm doing. Like there's a sense of entitlement and self-righteousness there. Time has brought me clarity about us. I made the wrong choices. So again, I feel like if this person has chosen right now to kind of be on their own because they would rather do that than to like deal with the reality of who they really are and what their issues are, then, over time, they may come to some sort of clarity, right? Like, wait a second, I want the 10 of Cups. Maybe I don't want to be alone. So let's see, is there any action this person wishes to take towards group 2? Yeah, so I feel like this person, they do want to be with you. Okay, they do want to be with you. But again, the question is going to be, do they want to still kind of give you that fake persona? You know, like I feel like there is a persona that this person puts out in the world that is all about like confidence, that is all about like, I know what I'm doing, look at me, I'm, you know, I'm rocking life. But it's, again, inside there's this wounded, emotional person that feels like they need to be rescued and they don't like that feeling. But at the same time, see, they want romance. So again, I just feel like this person is in such turmoil. It's like they want to be with you. They want to experience the romance, the lover's energy. They want to experience all of those things, but they don't want to admit what their true weaknesses are. They have a hard time being authentic about their vulnerable self. And that is why we're still getting a continuation of this split energy, right? They are split on, and I feel like part of it is also because you are not the kind of person who is going to deal with the superficial. Okay, you're not the kind of person that wants to be with this person as their superficial self. Okay, they've realized this as well, right? So you are not going to deal with the bullshit that they're used to giving other people. You are not going to be like other people who even accept this bullshit from them, right? You are coming at them saying, I want the real you or else I'm good. I don't need the facade. I don't need this role that you're playing. So if you want to show up and be with me, then it has to be real. And you can't act like, oh, you know, I'm just going to make you this offer, which they want to do. I'm going to make you this offer, but that offer comes from, oh, look at me. You know, it's like a very superficial kind of relationship, right? I'm never going to let you in. I'm never going to let you go deeper with me. I'm never going to let you be truly close to me because I'm not going to let you see who I really am. But if you want that outside version of me, yes, I want to be with you. So I feel like Spirit is saying, you're going to have to wait and see, like, is this person willing to bring their guard down, or are they continuing to, you know, want to make you an offer from their more superficial side of themselves? So go ahead and think about what question you might have about timing in this relationship. And I'm going to give you some options. We have 6 weeks, 2 days. It happens when you release resistance. Okay, so this is what I have for you. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you could do the live or the video recorded. You can also order any of the oracle decks that I have created and used in this reading. They're great problem solvers for your questions at home. Everything is at livetarot.com, and if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe and give this video a like. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you all on the next one. Okay, my group 3 that chose a powerful move and the amethyst, as well as Taurus, Scorpio, Virgo, and Cancer, although please don't feel limited to those signs. So we're going to take a look at what are their thoughts and feelings about you. What would they say to you from their higher self? Is there any action they wish to take towards you? And make sure you think about any kind of question you have around timing in this connection, and we're going to get you some timing guidance from Spirit at the end. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start here with your oracle cards, then we will do your tarot. Dreams. Believe in your dreams. Surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. Home. Wow, beautiful. I feel like there's definitely been a theme. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. You know, this entire reading, group 1, group 2, and now group 3, I feel like there has been a common energetic thread that is running through each group, even though it's different, like, the situations, like what's going on with the person is different, but there seems to be a common theme or thread that keeps coming through this particular deck. And that is that your person is going through some sort of a life cycle or phase where they just need to be right. And they're struggling with their ego in terms of admitting certain truths to themselves and to you. Okay, so there seems to be a general energy around needing to be right, needing to cling to your ego, sometimes putting forth like a mask to the world, showing that you are super confident, or you know what's right, or you have the answers, when inside you don't. And what that all comes down to for each and all of the groups, I feel, for today's reading, is that your person's greatest challenge is to truly open up and be vulnerable. Okay, that is the main issue here. They cling to what their ego tells them. So what's happening here is, yes, they are thinking of you. And I feel for you, particularly group 3, this person, if you're in separation at this time from this person, they are really missing you, because they really associate the feeling of home with you. You are their home. There is something that they have connected to within you and this relationship that makes them feel very at home. There's a sense of warmth, love, a sense of a place that is hidden away that they want to be with you in. It's like energetic, right? If you look at this image and you see this doorway to this, what looks like a beautiful structure, like a home, but look how it's hidden within a forest, right? It's like this beautiful, almost hidden door. You can barely even see it. So I feel like this person thinks of you as their sanctuary. They think of you as the place that they go to when they want to get away from the world, a place where they feel loved and accepted, a place where they feel very much at home, right? And I feel like there is some sense of regret or sense of deep pain and sadness around if you guys are in separation, because they feel like they botched this, like they feel like they screwed this up somehow. Okay, and I feel like they are very much feeling emotionally exhausted right now. So this person might be very much in hermit mode right now. They might be kind of trying to hide away from the world. They might be like spending a lot of time sleeping. They might be trying to just be under the covers, kind of like hide away. They're really feeling emotionally drained. If you are in separation, they miss you very much. If you're not in separation, but there's been challenges, those challenges are draining this person emotionally. So they're very much in this, okay, I need to unplug. I need to just sleep. I feel very stressed, like I don't know what to do. So they might be spending a lot of time, again, very hermit mode. They may not be going out as much right now. They might be spending alone time. They're definitely, when they do fall asleep, you are in their dreams, right? They're just in a very kind of like dreamy, kind of like almost like a state of rest right now. There's not a lot of energy of activity from this person right now. Okay, they're not very active in their life. Like they might be going to work and stuff, but they come home and they're not very active. And if there's been a lot of issues between the two of you, there's a lot of deep pain and regret around the fact that maybe they have been arguing too much. They've been trying to prove that they're right. They've been they've been holding on to their ego. I feel like this person feels, again, they feel like they have messed things up with you. Okay, that, like they had a good thing here with you and somehow they let their ego mess things up. They let any kind of problems or disagreements that have come up get in the way, like, and they didn't take ownership. Okay, so this person, if you have, I feel like for some of you, if you've dumped this person, or if you have told them, like, I'm done with you right now, I just need space, they are really feeling the pain of it because they're realizing that they didn't own up to what their part of it was. Like, they realize they're starting to think that if they want you back, or if they want to heal this relationship, they're going to have to step up and take ownership of their stuff, because they weren't doing that. I feel like this person, and like I said, that's why there's a very similar energy going on in all of the readings. Like, this person could have been very defensive, right? Like they're like defending their opinion. And I feel like they're even thinking like, wait a second, why was I defending all of these opinions when they weren't even right? Like, I know deep down inside I was wrong. You know how sometimes you know you're wrong and yet you still fight? You know, and that's because in that moment you let your ego take over. So I feel like this person, in their thoughts, they are definitely kicking themselves. They feel like in many ways they let their ego take over, and they kept arguing and they kept fighting, even and trying to be right, even though inside they knew they were wrong. So they're realizing that they're going to have to take ownership of that. Okay, like, they're going to have to take ownership of the fact that they may have really messed this up, and they may have really hurt you and made you want to leave them. Okay, and I feel like that's another form of deep pain that they're also struggling through right now. It's almost like they think that they drove you away, group 3. They think that their behavior drove you away, and there's a level of shame and pain around that as well. They're starting to realize, the more they think about this, the more they're kind of hiding under the covers, the more like they're not really going out and doing much, like they're in that kind of inactive kind of phase. The more they are thinking through this, the more they're realizing that they feel like they drove you away, and they don't even understand why. Okay, it's almost like they're even saying to themselves, why did I drive you away? What was I thinking? I didn't want you to go away. You know, it's like they didn't want you to leave, or they didn't want to leave. If this person stepped away from this, if they left, they're asking themselves, why the heck did I leave? What was I thinking? 5 of Wands, see? A lot of conflict. Page of Wands. Interesting. See what I mean? This is I believe group 1 had this issue too. And like I said, there seems to be a very common theme or thread, the moon. Yeah, see, very common theme or thread that is running through today's readings, all groups, is Knight of Pentacles. Definitely, you know, people struggling to come into a more mature emotional state, so that the actions that they take are not coming from the ego, but they're coming more from the heart. You know what I've also noticed? I believe that we haven't had, in any of the readings, I don't think we've had Cups energy. So we're also getting a lot of this energy of people feeling disconnected from their heart space and needing to reconnect to that. And when they reconnect to that heart space, that's when they'll be willing to be more vulnerable, right? Because again, look at this person. They are, I'm not surprised, because of them being so much in this dreamlike state. I feel like that's very, very similar to that moon's energy, where you're just kind of in a state of feeling like everything is foggy, nothing seems clear. You feel like there's just like veils everywhere. Everything feels, nothing quite feels real or right. And that's why you're spending more time in bed sleeping, because your soul, your mind, your heart, everything is like in this state of confusion. It's in this state of turmoil, and it's exhausting you. So I just feel like this person is really struggling right now. There's just a lot of internal conflict in them. And that has also come out as external conflict with you, right? Like they know, again, they feel like they've been fighting for their limitations. They feel like they've been fighting a fight for no good reason, even though inside they knew that they were wrong. So it's really put them in an emotional state that feels really, really bad to them. And again, part of that is coming from this lack of maturity. Okay, there is a level of healing and growth that needs to happen for this person so that they can come out of this a very kind of childish energy and this childish need to fight for their limitations, or to fight even when they know that you are right. And I'm not saying that you're right all the time and they're wrong all the time, but this person tends to fight a lot even when they know that they're wrong. They're not willing to admit, they're not willing to take ownership for their own shit. They're not able to take ownership for their own stuff. And so I feel like they realize that is why their progress in life is definitely slow, and their progress towards you, or towards even creating something really great with you, has been slow, because they kind of are their own worst enemy. They set themselves back. They keep putting themselves in these very difficult places where they can't seem to control their own reactions. I feel like this person reacts, and they're not able to really gain clarity on why they're reacting this way. Still listening. I listen to the music you've shared with me. It helps me to connect with you, although we are apart. Yeah. So this person, as they are, again, in that state of like non-activity, hanging out at home, sleeping a lot, they might also be listening to music to calm themselves. They might also be listening to music that you both shared or you both liked together, and it reminds them of you. It gives them that sense of home about you. I fantasize about getting a second chance with you. Okay. So yeah, this person has not given up on the possibility that this can still be worked out, but they also know that they have a lot of stuff to work through, like a lot of stuff that they need to take ownership on. And part of it is also like, I've also noticed that throughout this reading and other readings, we've been getting a lot of Wands energy. So there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of emotion in these people, in the people that you are watching this reading for. They have a lot of passion, emotion, attraction, energy towards you. But a lot of them are just stuck in their own heads about who they are and how they're willing to show up in a relationship. Are they willing to be a partner that is open-minded, that is not always defaulting back to ego, to I am right, you are wrong, it should be this way, my way is the right way. I feel like there's just so much resistance in these people. They want love, but yet they don't show up in a way that builds love. They show up in a way that threatens love. And it's very like self-sabotaging, because they want love. Deep down inside, they crave the love. They want you. They want to be with you. But yet they show up in a way that doesn't create that love. So I feel like this person, in terms of their actions, what they wish to do next, they might be right now trying to move forward in their material life. They might be trying to focus on, work. Knight of Pentacles is also trying to make progress in life, trying to make progress in other ways, because emotionally you're shut down. Okay, so right now their emotions feel shut down, so they're focusing more on, okay, let me just get through the day. Let me just get through, okay, let me do well in my work. Let me focus on, practical things, because when it comes to love, I'm a bit of a mess. They're trying to rise above, okay? They're trying to rise above their own personal drama, their own limitations, the obstacles, and the pettiness. Because I do feel that there's a bit of a petty energy here. This person may have been very petty when it comes to fights. They might kind of like fight dirty in a certain way, right? And so they know there's a sense of shame, you know, around the way they've been showing up. They want to change the outcome, okay? If you are apart, if you've dumped them, or if they've even like, you know, walked away from you, it was all bravado, right? Like that's not the outcome they wanted. But some of them are also like feeling like there's nothing really they can do because they've messed this up so much. But I feel like they want to change the outcome. They want something different here. But see, they are stuck in a particular cycle, and they know. And it's interesting that it came with the under the Five of Wands, because there is a cycle of internal conflict that this person, there's a momentum to this that this person hasn't been able to get out of. So I feel like the bottom line here is that they want to be with you. They know they've screwed this up. They know that they're not showing up right. They want to change it, but right now it seems like they almost don't even know how, and they're so afraid that they've already ruined things with you. Okay, so there's a lot of this moon's energy, a lot of this cycles of momentum that are very like Five of Wands, very murky, very like, I think they know that if they want this to change, they're going to have to go back to ownership. They're going to have to show up with you taking ownership. And I think that's what they're figuring out right now. So go ahead and think about what is your question around the timing. Any kind of timing in this relationship or connection. We're getting September. During the full moon phase, which you can look up online. It's very easy to see when that is in the month. And it's not too late. The situation can change. Wow, that's really hopeful. So if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you could do the live or the video recorded. You can also order any of the oracle decks that I've created and used in this reading. They're great problem solvers for when you have urgent questions at home. Everything is at livetarot.com, so make sure you check it out. And if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe and give this video a like. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you all on the next one.